This thing here is still a little bit of an adventure. It's fun. I don't get tired of it. 25 miles a day is a pleasure.
Bob Peterson is better known as Poncho on the Chief Joseph Trail Ride, here from Arizona for the 11th year in a row.
The country and the people, the horses.
135 people have saddled up for this leg of the trek through central Montana, and almost all of them have been on this ride before. This is Jeannie Hendrick's 13th time on the Chief Joe.
I'm a history buff. I enjoy history a lot, but I would say the main thing is the wonderful riding experiences, but maybe even more, all the great friends.
Talking to the riders, you hear over and over again how this annual expedition is like one big family reunion in a very beautiful setting, the magnificent American West.
Oh, the scenery is just spectacular. You know, this is just an awesome part of the United States. And then the people, and then the history of the ride, the history of the horses and the history of the Nez Perce War, all that is very addicting. Yeah, I remember the very first year we came on the ride, we just thought, well, hell, we just got to come back. And we've been on it ever since.
That was 17 years ago. Today, Dr. David Hill is the trail ride's official physician. A pack mule carries his supplies to handle virtually any medical emergency, and a satellite phone is kept handy to call in a medical helicopter just in case. Serious injuries are rare, but sunburn, backaches, or dehydration are not.
You know, it's just fun to take care of people, and the people out here are very appreciative of my help, and that's just very rewarding.
Farrier Kirk Knowlton handles the horseshoeing duties.
All right, George. Mostly just throwing shoes and everything, about what you expect.
And veterinarian Dr. David Rustabachi made sure the horses stayed in good health.
My role here is to take care of any medical issues that the horses have, and it's kind of a draw for the riders to know that there is medical help for their horses. These horses are like family to them in most cases, and to have some medical backup for issues that come up is a huge draw for this ride.
Okay, you guys get up ahead in there and see what you can find.
Along the trail, retired Army Colonel Ron Fowler leads a small group of scouts, easy to spot in their green vests, who serve as wranglers on the ride, ready to assist anyone who needs a hand and help avoid problems.
The reason I'm always looking down is because I'm looking at the trail for holes and rocks and stuff that the riders might have trouble with.
The week-long journey takes place through a variety of beautiful country. Wide open prairie, river canyons, mountains, and meadows. Back in 1877, this land was untamed wilderness. Today, it's mostly private property, and the ride wouldn't happen without permission from the landowners, like rancher Bill Steele.
Oh, no, I think it's kind of a neat deal. How many riders you got today?
Some ranches we just rode through. Others allowed us to camp overnight.
We're just Montana people.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
It's an impressive sight coming over the hill and seeing a little village set up in your hayfield.
There's a lot involved.
This is my 20th year doing this picket line.
Like the giant picket line for the horses, set up, torn down, and moved every day from camp to camp.
Oh, it's a blast.
It's a blast?
Oh, always. Good workout, the great people, kind of like a family, and you get to see them every year.
This really is a family reunion for Camp Chef Norman Shaw, here with his brother Carl, father Andy, and longtime family friend Irvin Gross. Andy's in charge of the camp crew. He first brought his boys along when he signed up as a mechanic and a driver for the ride 22 years ago. Norman's career as a professional chef was inspired by cold mornings here as a teenager.
The best place to be when it's cold in the morning is on the grills, because it's warm. So I learned real quick to get in there, and I did everything I could to get on those grills.
Steak on the grill and fresh mashed potatoes were just one of the delicious dinners served here during the week, along with hot breakfasts. Lunch is a sandwich and snacks tossed into a saddlebag and eaten at a stop along the trail.
A snack, some string cheese, a piece of fruit. We always get an apple so my horse can have that for lunch.
Okay.
And then your choice of sandwich.
Sounds good. Tons of hay is trucked in for the horses, along with up to 4,000 gallons of water every day.
You have a little yourself there.
Oh yeah, just like the horses. We have a lot in common. Beasts of burden.
This morning arrives with more water in the form of rain.
This is where you start finding out who has it and who don't.
That doesn't dampen anybody's spirits.
I love the rain. Gets everybody up, and then they go hide.
Morning. Good
Morning.
How are ya?
Good.
The weather doesn't slow anyone down. The cook truck and the rest of the camp is packed up and moving out before the departing riders are even out of sight. Almost every rider has a driver to move their pickup truck and horse trailer from camp to camp. Irvin and his crew keep the parking well organized.
Parking traffic right now, plus a whole lot of other things.
Like a dance floor that gets set up, rain or shine.
Of course, you can't dance pretty women if you don't have a dance floor.
So when the day's ride is over, dinner finished, and the sky's clear, Marcos Dominguez can crank up the tunes for some sundown two-stepping, the end of another day that's flown by.
It's Friday lunch break on the Chief Joseph Trail Ride. It's been an amazing week, and the only thing wrong with this adventure is that it's going to end way too soon.
In just a few hours, it would all be over. Our traveling tribe, which came together to follow the historic trail of the Nez Perce, would scatter to the four winds. It's easy to see why so many people come back year after year. But what's so special about the Appaloosa Horse? A closer look at the breed made famous by the Nez Perce just ahead.
What drew me to the Appaloosa Horse originally was its color, because it was different than any other horse. And then I became more educated and realized that there's more to just color than what appears on the outside. It's what's on the inside.
The Appaloosa Horse is the only breed permitted on the Chief Joseph Trail Ride. The Nez Perce are credited with developing the breed and its unique color, which even Lewis and Clark noted in their journals when they encountered the tribe back in 1806. History tells us the spotted horses were originally known as a Palouse horse, named after the Palouse River in northern Idaho, a name that eventually evolved into Appaloosa. Today, the distinctive breed has a loyal following, one that believes the animal's heart is as important as its color.
There's a saying, you can get in a car and go see what man has made, but you have to be on the back of the horse to see what God has made. And this horse has taken me through some amazing trails and mountains, and only her heart can take her there, starting. You've got to have that before you can even train a horse. They have to have heart and the desire to want to do this for man and enjoy really what is natural to them. And that's the spirit of the horse, and that's what I look for when I look for my special horses.
Trainer and Appaloosa Club show judge Christy Wood owns the two registered Appies she's standing with, clear evidence that the breed's bloodline trumps its color. But among riders on the Chief Joe, there's no doubt that the Appaloosa's look is a big part of its appeal.
I like their stamina, and your horse doesn't look like everybody else's horse because the color patterns are all so different.
They're a stout, friendly horse. Not all Appaloosas are that way. You have to find the right one, but when you find a good Appaloosa, it's hard to beat.
Since the Appaloosa is so connected with the Nez Perce tribe, some of the riders here believe the Chief Joseph Trail Ride is as significant for the horse as it is for the humans who ride them.
There's just more to the Appaloosa with their history. It's almost as though the horse knows its own history, and Dollar does too. You can kind of sense it when we're out there. 2 years ago, we were in Yellowstone, and first, Dollar's never seen a bison before. And when she looked at that, you can almost I could see her mind processing, my forefathers saw those. We carried the Indians into their freedom, into their hunts, and it's almost that she sensed that, and it was a great experience.
The following summer, we were back in the saddle with the Chief Joe once again, as the trail ride completed another 13-year trek at the Bear Paw Battlefield. We'll take you back on the trail later in the program,